Hey everybody, this is Kendall with BlackOvis, and today I'm standing here with the Crispi Laponia and want to give you a detailed overview of the features as well as why the Laponia, and I'll also answer the question why it's such a cult boot, because I think it's kind of one of those boots that is overlooked but is followed by a lot of interesting and really active hunters. So diving into Laponia, obviously this is a used pair, this is the brand new pair. Couple interesting things about Lapponia. It's on this Crispi scale of 1 to 5. It's a 2 flex. Part of that is because of both the board last system that Crispi builds it with, and also because this boot has less material in the sole and midsole than some of the other boots in the Crispi lineup that we sell here at BlackOvis, like the Nevada, the Wild Rock, or the Wyoming, Idaho, which have polyurethane midsole and a deeper tread pattern. The Crispi Laponia utilizes the Crispi Claw sole. It's a sole built for Crispi by Vibram. The midsole is 2 different densities of EVA. If you look at the tread pattern, and more the shape actually, the shape is really more inclined for an active type of boot, but it also feels like a boot without being very clumpy, if that makes any sense to anyone. So super interesting combination. Makes for a really nice flex. I mean, this, I'm flexing the heck out of this thing, but it's a very soft flex compared to most other boots in the Crispi lineup, and at a 2 rating. Around the rand is actually, instead of being rubber on the Lapponia, it's a PU coated leather rand, which is triple stitched. Comes up pretty high on the boot here, and then all the way up on the back for a good solid heel kick. The leather on Lapponia is a little thinner and softer than boots like Valdez, which is thinner and softer than Nevada. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the upper is made of. Sometimes the flex of the boot is not just what's in the sole, but also what's in the upper. And the construction of the Lapponia is essentially a little softer build. Crispi built the Lapponia to essentially be in that spot between trail running shoe, active shoe shape, and with not a deep tread depth, and full boot mode, which is Nevada. And you get something that is very comfortable. I mean, ridiculously comfortable. I love this boot, and also, but functions like a boot would function. Fully waterproof up to this level right here with the full surround gore booty. Stretch nylon in the tongue, and the stretch nylon is extremely breathable. This is a very good non-insulated boot for just high output or warm temperatures and active hunting. A little bit taller than, of course, you'd get out of a trail runner, or even like a 3/4 high. And then this is kind of an interesting thing. It has I've got it pulled out right here. It's got this loop right here, which is not typically pulled out. I pulled it out specifically, but you can see the difference on this between these two boots. This is actually a lace loop pass-through that you can bypass on the side if you don't want a lace loop through that. But I would recommend it because when you lace loop that and you cinch down the boot, it essentially pulls in and hugs that ankle. This has a really nice heel pocket, so you're going to get a little bit more ankle stability from that. I'm not talking huge, but you're going to get some additional ankle stability here from the back of the Achilles down. And if you're thinking, is there pressure on the back? I've not experienced that personally, nor have I talked to anyone that has experienced that. But what that does translate to is a more solid fit, especially as you move from moderate terrain to steeper terrain, where that you sometimes will get a heel lift in a boot. Top has a suede leather around the top. As far as carrying for the Crispi Laponia, you're going to want to use the Crispi synthetic cream or the Nick wax waterproofing wax for leather. Those are the two items that I would choose and that I've done on my Laponias. The second part of this video, I want to talk a little bit about the why Crispi Laponia. When I first saw Lapponia, my honest opinion was it was not much. It didn't look very interesting as a boot. It actually looked like it wasn't much of anything, and I completely overlooked it. Tried a bunch of different models. This is a model, this is actually not my personal one, but one of the guys here in the office, he beat the snot out of these boots. This is 3 seasons old. He didn't take very good care of the leather. I've already talked to him about that, so we don't have to go there. But the sole tread is essentially gone after 3 seasons. He said that 1 year he put 60 days on this particular boot. It wasn't until last year that I tried the Lapponia. You can see the only thing that really, I mean, A, he's got some cracking in the leather, and B, maybe there's the stitch right here is just starting to come undone. But as far as the boot use, if he really wanted to, he could treat up this leather and get them taken care of. But why the Lapponia? Why would a guy take 3 seasons in this boot hunting elk, deer, and everything in between here in Utah over another boot? And really, I discovered this in my hunting last year when I gave the Lapponia a straight look, and I found that I enjoyed the lightness of the boot. It's extremely lightweight, just over a pound per pair or per boot on a size 10. I love the lightness. I love the active feel. I love that it was still waterproof, and I trusted that it would that my feet would stay dry. And I felt like it did give me a decent amount of support, good support, but it wasn't limiting. Sometimes if you get into into more of a boot, and it all depends on personal opinion, but as you get into more of a boot, you get into sometimes some limitations or lack of freedom, if you will. So if you're a guy that enjoys a very active style of hunting, or you like you're looking for lightweight, you want to increase breathability, and you don't necessarily need a ton of boot, you don't need additional ankle support like the Nevada and Idaho and Wyoming provide, the Lapponia, even though it doesn't look like much, this boot is definitely worth checking out. And we're glad to stock it here on BlackOvis. If you have questions about the Crispi Laponia or any other Crispi lineup boots, we're the largest online dealer for Crispi, and so we have a plethora of knowledge we'd love to share with you. Leave a comment below, give us a call, talk to one of our gear guides, and hopefully we can get you in the right Crispi boot.